Hey, what's up, DCS crew? Back at it today. We got a bit of a mail call today. This is a Civivi mail call, as you can see. And this is brought to you in no small part by the Apex passaround. That's actually something that includes quite a few like-minded individuals such as myself who review knives. And if you are a sub on this channel, chances are you are very likely to have run into people that are a part of the Apex passaround. A few examples of which are Stasa23. Nick is a part of that. There is BJ from Big Red EDC. Jody from Big Red EDC, and of course Zach from Zach Stuff. Now, ironically, I was actually supposed to check out the Plethiros from Civivi. They have a variant in wood, Sandalwood scales with a 9CR18 MOV based stainless Damascus blade. I was going to say Damasteel, but it's the Damascus blade. And so I got the mailing, but they they actually stuck a second knife in there. So I get to review two Civivis in this video. This is just a quick notice that yes, I am in possession of these. One of these was actually supposed to go to JT from JT's Knife Life. Shout out to his channel because he is also an Apex Passaround member. But we're gonna go ahead and check these out and figure out what is in the second one, because I know what's in the first one. So let's see what's in the second one. All right, guys, stay tuned and we'll figure this out. All right, welcome back, guys. Okay, so let me just go ahead and take this guy away. This is not the one that was sent to me. This is actually the one that was sent to me on behalf of We and Civivi Knives. Obviously, Civivi Knife Company, for those that do not know, they are the budget subsidiary of We Knife Company. Kind of like if you had ZT and then Kershaw, or even Artisan Cutlery and CJRB. So that would, or even Spyderco and Bird. BYRD, not bird like birdshot. It would be BYRD. So in this case, the knife that they sent me is actually one that is a budget knife, but it kind of isn't. And let me go ahead and open it up. In the meantime, let's go ahead and show this guy off right here. And put this to, I'll put this to the side. Let's give it. All right, now this one is the Elijah Isham designed Civivi Plethiros, okay? Now, there's a couple of things that are different with this particular knife compared to the other Isham designs that are a part of Civivi right now. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there are three. There's the Anthropos, there's the McKenna, and there's this guy. Now, this guy in particular, it has golden sandalwood handles. It has a gray stainless steel liner, and that's important to note because some of them are stainless, some of them are black, some of them are actually blue, and I believe they had like gold liners like right at the very beginning. Noticeably, most noticeably, it is a Damascus blade. Now, interestingly enough, I've never really owned a knife with Damasteel or Damascus. And recently it just happens to be that I've been getting some, for the channel to check out. And I don't know, that just happens to be by happenstance. I know that I had the Centauri from Artisan Cutlery. That's a Ray Laconico design. And then there's this one, which is the Elijah Isham design. Okay, now this particular one is a specific Civivi model. It's called, I believe the model is C904DS2. In fact, let me look at the box here. Yep, okay, C904DS-2. Hopefully you can see that good and legibly here. Okay, and that's the Plethiros. All right, now these are made in China, okay, and they are liner locks. And it's an Isham design, and you can pretty much tell if you are a fan of Elijah Isham. You can tell that while this is a bit of a toned down design, this is definitely a design that came from Elijah Isham. And the reason why I say that is he I don't want to make it sound, in a negative connotation, because I actually think a lot of his stuff is really cool. But I kind of consider him more of like the Elon Musk of like the knife industry, and he's a really cool person too. He's very intuitive when it comes to knife design. He's a very nice guy. He has that kind of snidely whiplash mustache that he kind of like curls up. He probably put a little bit of pomade or beard balm in there, and he kind of curls it up. Yeah, you know, the kind of guy that would say something like that. And I always thought that that's really cool. He's got the old school glasses. He's usually, you know, dressed in all black, you know, walking around and stuff, taking a nice little look at things. And he's not a very boastful person, and I like that a lot about him because his designs are very forward thinking. It's very artsy, but I can tell you now that I've actually, you know, held and used some of these knives. I've used some of his knives and I found that they are actually very aesthetically pleasing and very functional, just like this guy. Now, I've used the Plethiros in the past, and I can tell you just from, you know, the feel of it, it's designed to be a very ergonomic feel in the hand. It's great for people with small to medium-sized hands. Mine are a bit chunky, so it just barely goes ahead and it fits all 4 fingers on the grip. There is a nice cutout here where you can actually see the liner lock, and then you can fit all 4 fingers. I can fit 3 fingers on here, and then it kind of like cuts right here at the bottom to where I can fit that second, I'm sorry, that last finger, the pinky. And it actually feels extremely comfortable in the hand, and for being a flipper, it's a very, very minimal style flipper tab. You have some jimping right at the top, as you can see. Hopefully you can see there. And it's interesting. And what they have done is they've taken that particular design and then they've projected, you know, a little bit more, you know, bling to it, I guess you can say, by adding this this sandalwood handle and the Damascus blade. Okay, now interestingly enough, one thing that he was able to do was to create a flipper that actually flips well, okay, with a hybrid style flipper tab that's actually more towards the top than out, or, you know, at the side. It's almost at a 0-degree angle, or 360-degree angle, I guess you could say. I'm gonna say it's just slightly out. And most knives that are flippers, and let me see if I have a flipper that's on hand. I usually don't, but in this case, okay. As you can see, flippers, like this Kershaw Atmos, what they'll do is they will, they'll look kind of like a bird's beak. In this case, it's not so bad. It's not really a pocket pecker, but the reason why is because you have a method of flicking out the knife from the side using the jimping so that the knife fires out with authority. This is the Kershaw Atmos, completely unrelated, and this is just a budget knife on bearings. And let me see, I think I have one in here too that is also Kershaw, but I can probably show it off a little bit better. Yeah, I do. Okay, this one has a little bit more of a, I guess, a pocket pecker. Okay, and the reason why I call it pocket pecker, that's something that I actually heard originally from Nick Shabazz. And not to take away from this, but I'll just give this a quick explanation. The reason why is because when you actually dig, when this is in your pocket, right, and you actually dig into your pocket to get like keys or whatever that you choose to have at the bottom of your pocket, this has, the knives should be designed in a way so that when you stick it in and when you stick your hand in, you are able to go ahead and go in without actually having this peck you. So in essence, if it's one of those large protruding flipper tabs, it becomes in essence a pocket pecker. And that's where that actually comes from. So what he did was he actually did away with that altogether in a very intuitive design. And he actually created this so that even if you get really, really close to the tab, you're basically just going to go ahead and just shave right next to it and just keep going, because the tab is angled up instead of the side like most flipper tabs on pocket knives, which I thought that was really cool. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a nice close-up to that so you can see here. Okay, now that doesn't change the fact that you can't flick it, but it does change the trajectory in which your finger is going to be placed and how it is going to be opening it. So instead of a lot of other knives that would use something more akin to like a push button style of a flipper or a flicking motion with your index finger, what you would do is more of like a light switch. So this would be coming this way instead of in. So in that case, boom, and it comes out. Now that one was, one of the few times where I've actually flicked it very, very lightly and it came out lightly. But as you notice, it's still locked. This actually flicks out extremely well, and it's a lot better than I thought it would be, considering where the placement was. Because the first time I tried this, I don't know if it was because it was new and it wasn't broken in, but it just didn't seem to work for me. I think that either, I was handling a prototype and they really worked out the kinks on this, or, now that it's been through the passaround, which I don't even think it could be that. It could be that they worked out the kinks, because I think I'm like the second person to check this out. In any case, this is the Plethiros, and it is tapped for left and right hand carry. Very nice deep pocket clip, and the handle material, they say it is a golden sandalwood material, and what they've done is they've milled the wood, and you can actually see it in this particular light. As you can see, there is some milling, so that there is actually dimension in the front. I mean the front and here in the back. If you have the standard version, you will see that quite a bit more in how they put the inlay, or actually the laminate over G10. But in this case, it's just one solid piece of the golden sandalwood handle scale on both sides. What they've done also, and let me see if I can have my light around here so I can go ahead and show this off. Here we go. They have gone ahead and they've skeletonized the inside of the scales. See there? Okay, that's one pocket. They have another pocket right here towards the middle. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. And then they have a third pocket way towards the top near the liner itself. You can't really see it that way. Let me see if I can get one more angle on it. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so in any case, so they have 3 pockets on one side, and then they have 2 mini pockets and then one larger pocket at the base of the lock side. So you'll see right here on the lock side, there's one, and then if you turn it towards the back, here, let me just do it this way, a little bit easier. You can actually see 2 more pockets that they have skeletonized over there. And that's to be able to save additional weight over a knife that, in all honesty, didn't really need it in the first place. But it's a nice little, added plus for something that's going to reduce a little bit of weight and still maintain the functionality that you would normally get from these knives. Now, this is an extremely slicey knife. Originally, if I'm not mistaken, this came in either D2 or 9CR18 MOV. This is considered an upgrade in steel because this is 9CR18 MOV stainless Damascus. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anything a little bit past that because the Damascus that's used is proprietary to Civivi / Knife Company, and they do not provide any more details other than that with regards to the steel. I even tried to reach out to one of my contacts within the company to see if maybe they could give me a little bit more, light that I could shed on this particular knife steel, and then kind of, disclose it here on the channel very nonchalantly, but unfortunately they're very, very tight-lipped to where they don't even tell the employees. So it's interesting to note. Now, this is just a hair over $100 for this particular knife, which takes it kind of out of the category of what you would call budget knives from Civivi. And the reason why I say that is because usually you'd see something from about $40 to, I don't know, about $60 in the Civivi line of knives. Okay, I picked up a few knives and we are back at it, and this is what I have available to be able to go ahead and compare with the Plethiros. So now we have the WE Knives Angst. This is a Justin Lundquist design, a very, very lightweight, forward-thinking folder. I think it's a kind of like a dagger style folder. Really, really cool from Justin Lundquist. We have the Civivi Dogma. This is one that I put on the channel. Actually, it's pretty close in dimensions to the Plethiros. In fact, I think the Plethiros edges it by just a little bit. The Angst is just a little bit smaller than the Plethiros, of course. One that is definitely a little bit smaller than both of these knives is the the damn Designs Oni. I finally got that back. No thanks to UPS. Hashtag fuck UPS. Defund UPS. Anything you can to do to mess up UPS, right? You have the previously seen Kershaw Atmos. This is a Civivi design. Very, very awesome folder. You have the Kaiser Rogue Dirk Pinkerton design, S35VN from neighboring company that makes knives as well. That's Kaiser. S35VN steel titanium handles. And then you have the USA made Kershaw bare knuckle 14C28N steel, made in the USA with the black washed blade and the green anodized, I want to say aluminum handle. Don't quote me on that. Because that's not a knife about that I am reviewing right now. What I am reviewing is the Plethiros. So back to this. Basically, this is a knife that it's just one of those that I find kind of interesting, but I feel like it's in a place where it shouldn't be. And just correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be pedantic about this, you know, but with these materials, you know, the fact that it's over $100, it's in the Civivi line, it's got these upgraded materials and that sort of thing. I don't see anything here that cries out, you know, buy me and use me. Now, this would be a great collector's item. Do not get me wrong. I think this is beautiful. I think that this is something that would fit really well because it's very different from what Civivi usually has. And I think that that's the reason why they particularly came out with this one, because of the fact that, in all honesty, you know, it sticks out a little bit. And I mean, you know, you have other knives, like you have the Elementum that's come out with S35VN. You have the Dogma that has the copper scales or the brass scales. You have, you know, other knives that have been upgraded, and some even have, you know, Damascus as well. But to have something like this come out and then, you know, with these materials and then put it over the $100 range for a Civivi line, which is typically considered, you know, it's budget and it's good quality, it kind of raises a couple of red flags, and I'll tell you why. Because if you know anything about knives and about using knives, there eventually is going to come about, and this varies by person, you know, from person to person, and it's talked about in a few other channels. There's a point of diminishing returns, okay? And when you pick up a knife, you know, that is quality, that, like, say for example, you're looking for a USA made knife and you pick up something like this, you know, you feel, okay, you're getting your value's worth. But say you were gonna, you know, pay 2 or 3 or 4 times this, you know, or double this for a knife that's only got a slight upgrade in color and then a slight upgrade in blade material, blade steel, you'd feel kind of like, the value's not really there so much as on this particular one, you know? And for good reason, because, you know, there are other knives within the Civivi line that are budget, that are fantastic value. Like, for example, this particular knife, the Dogma. If you have not seen my video on this, please check that out. You know, there's a lot going for this particular knife, and I see it going a lot of places. I think that it is going to see this, and the Elementum are going to unseat the Backlash as the true backbone of Civivi knives. That's why I say, when you start to have something like that and it projects a certain type of value with, you know, a budget-minded aspect, and then you go to something a little bit higher up and a little bit higher up and a little bit higher up, there are increments where you can say, okay, I can see that price and the quality that goes into the particular knife. But then when it exceeds it, it kind of makes you question whether this is something that you would want to pay for if you are actually going to be using the knife. If you are using the knife, notice I said that, because if you are going to be collecting these knives, this is something that I do believe that should be on every Civivi and We Knife Company collector's radar, because this isn't something that's going to last for a very long time. This is one of the budget Isham designs that I think personally looks extremely good. It's toned down, but it's not. You can actually, if you choose to carry it, you can open it one of 2 ways. You can actually flick it open that way, or at the very tip of this this triangular thumb hole, you can actually open it that way. It's not the easiest thing to do, but I've been able to do it. You cannot for the life of you finger flick this. I can't do it. And if you could do it, trust me, I'll give you a knife. How about that? But as far as actual usage, I don't really see the practicality in something like this. But then again, there aren't a lot of people who carry and use Damascus blades. I only know of one, and the truth is it's one of my buddies from Vanquist. He showed me his Cherbakoff knife, but we're talking a knife that's, you know, maybe 3-4 times the value of this. But that's besides the point. I think this is a great collector's piece. I think aesthetically it's beautiful. It's a nice upgrade from what the standard knife is. But if it's something that you are thinking of either picking up, you know, and keeping as like kind of an heirloom, something to pass down and something to keep in your collection, yes, go get it. But if it is something that you are planning on using and pocketing, and I don't know. I've spoken to a couple of people about this, and they feel the same way. This is something that they would pick up, they'd probably carry for a couple of times, and then they just go ahead and flip. Or they'd wait until they're sold out and they put it on the secondary for a little bit more money, because the truth is, Isham's designs, you know, it's like Mobutu, I think it's his name, from that Ben Stiller movie. He would say he's so hot right now. You know, and that's the truth. You know, he's a great designer. This is a great design, but I feel that this is something that's much more collector oriented than user oriented. So keep that in mind when you're going to go ahead and check this knife. Okay. So I've already gone ahead and talked about this particular knife. I'm going to talk about the other knife that I picked up in my next video. This one is going to be one that I'm going to declare. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about this knife, okay, go ahead and sound off in the comments below. Feel free to go ahead and message me if you have any questions that you think that I'd be able to go ahead and provide an answer to, or shed some light on. If you want my opinion on something, feel free to reach me here or my Instagram channel at Daily Carry Solutions. I hope you guys appreciate the new intro. I put a little bit of thought into that one. I wanted to do something a little bit shorter. Some people were mentioning that it had gone on for quite some time, so I figured, let's shorten it out for you guys. But in the meantime, just remember, guys, no matter what you choose to carry, it can be the Plethiros. It can be, dude, it could be a Kershaw Shuffle 2. Whatever you choose to carry. If you EDC, think of DCS. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time with the unveiling of the other Civivi knife that was mistakenly sent to me. Peace.